What's up guys, it's Mike Sherrard, and today I want to talk to you about the pros and cons of being a real estate agent. I've almost been a realtor now for 4 years and I've seen it all. I've been a top producer, I've done a lot of different things, tried it all, and what I want to do is share my experience with you to talk about the pros and cons if you're thinking about getting your real estate license. There's a lot of things that most people don't talk about. A lot of people start looking at shows like $1 Million Listings, Selling Sunset, and think that, you know, you're just going to come into the industry, list a bunch of $1 million homes and become rich, and that's very much not the case. There's a lot of things you really need to be mindful of that not a lot of people are openly sharing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to first flip the script a bit. I'm going to start with the cons, and then I like to end on a high note, so we're going to end with the pros. So stay tuned for that because there's a couple of things that you really need to take note of. So without further ado, let's jump right into it. All right guys, so if you do get any value from this video, all that I ask is a little thumbs up. It really helps inspire me to keep putting out content every single week for you. So let's talk about the first con. It's very insecure. There's a lot of people that need security in their life, which is why a 9-to-5 job is very good for them, because they know that they're getting $8,000 a month every single month. They have enough to pay for their bills. They know what's coming in, they know what's going out. It's very predictable and it's very easy to manage. But the insecurity affects a lot of people, which is why 87% of realtors fail within the first 3 years, because again, it's very emotionally, physically, and mentally stressful when you start seeing that you might not close a deal for the next 3 months, or as a new agent, maybe for the first 6 months. So can you have no income coming in and understand you need to be able to pay for everything? So it's really insecure and a lot of people struggle with that. Number two, it's very unstable and very volatile. So what I mean by that is you cannot predict the future. There was a lot of people that got into real estate back in 2007, you know, built up momentum, thought they were going to crush it, and then the big crash in 08-09 happened. And then what? There was a lot of people that thought they were going to crush it and were planning to do a certain amount of deals in 2020, but then the pandemic hit and that really affected them. And if they were projecting to make $100,000, $150,000 this year, and they only ended up getting 30 or 40, that puts themselves and their family at great risk. So it's very unstable, very volatile. And again, it's not something that you can just predict. And for some people that are looking to achieve certain things or go on certain vacations, and you think that a certain amount is coming in versus knowing a certain amount is coming in, like a 9-to-5 job, then this is going to be a rocky road for you. Number three, the judgment and the stigma. Listen, there's no doubt about it that there's a stigma about real estate agents. Same with used car salesmen. There's a lot of people that just simply don't like realtors. There's a lot of people that think they're just sleazy salespeople that do all kinds of things behind the scenes that they shouldn't. And there is a stigma about it. I even saw this when I got into the real estate industry, where I left engineering, and a lot of my friends stopped inviting me to parties because they thought that now I was just leaving a great job to become a realtor and was going to be annoying and selling and all kinds of stuff like that. You really have to be mindful of the fact that you're now grouped into a big pool of people that the majority of the public do not like at face value before even meeting you. So if you don't like to deal with stigmas, if you struggle with having people judging you, this again is going to be an interesting journey. Number four is one of the most interesting things: self-accountability. You see, at a 9-to-5 job, you've got a boss. And when you've got a boss, if they say, hey Mike, you need to get this task done today or this task done this week, if you don't do it, there are repercussions to that, which means that you could lose your job, you could get some sort of sanction, you could get something that's negative in repercussion for you not getting those tasks done. However, as a real estate agent or a self-employed entrepreneur, if you don't do the things that you need to do in order to get business, which is usually the things people don't like to do, like door knocking, like cold calling, like networking, like creating video content, like doing all of these things that make you get outside of your comfort zone. If you don't door knock today, nobody says anything. If you don't cold call tomorrow, nobody says anything. And because nobody says anything, a lot of people start to delay it. And then what happens is after a month or two of delaying it, they wonder why they're broke, why they have no business, and they're struggling to pay their bills because nobody said anything about them not doing the things that they were supposed to do. And that really affects a lot of people that are getting into the real estate industry. Number five is one that not a lot of people talk about. It's very expensive to get into real estate. And a lot of people just look at the face value upfront cost. It's very cheap to become a realtor, but it's expensive to be a real estate agent. And what I mean by that is that I've got other videos I'll link above, the cost of being a real estate agent. And in the beginning, it's really easy to just say, okay, I can pay $1,000, $3,000 to get my real estate license. It's cheap, it's easy, I'm gonna make hundreds of thousands of dollars, I'm good. But the problem is your real estate dues, again, as linked in the description above, the real estate dues are expensive. The cost to list a property properly is expensive. The cost to set yourself up, market, establish yourself is very expensive, and those are things that not a lot of people overlook. And some people say, well, I'll just cheap out on that, I won't do it, I'll do the photos myself, I'll do the videos myself, I'll skimp out on marketing and I'll pay somebody that's really cheap. But that, again, is really going to affect your business and is going to result in less business. So it's a very expensive industry to be in, so be prepared to spend a lot of money to make potentially a lot of money. And number 6 is the sacrifice. A lot of people also tell me that they get into the real estate industry because they want to build a lifestyle. They want to be golfing all summer. They want to be snowboarding and skiing all winter. They want to do whatever they want. But the problem is if you do that, there's no way you're going to succeed in real estate. For my first 3 years in the business, I didn't take any time off. I worked 126 hours a week, every single week for the first couple of years. No vacations, no breaks, no weekends off, no birthday parties, no going out and drinking. And that's how I built my business to the point where it is now, where I can take time to step away and enjoy the things that I enjoy doing. But again, if you want to build a legit business in the beginning, you're going to have to make a lot of sacrifice with significant others, with friends, with family, with yourself, and a lot of people cannot come to grips with that. So now let's roll into a more positive direction, which are the pros of being a real estate agent. And again, there are also 6 pros that we're going to talk about that are very, very important. Number 1 is obviously being your own boss. A lot of people are creatives. They don't like to be managed by other people. They don't like being told what to do. And this is a great industry where you have the flexibility to, within reason, as long as you're abiding by the local real estate board rules, you can do basically whatever you want. And it's really great to express yourself creatively, flex those creative muscles, and be your own boss and be accountable to yourself. It's really great to know that you don't have to answer to anybody, and it's really great to know that when you succeed, it's because of what you did. So being your own boss is a very great feeling. Number 2, which comes with a bit of a caveat, there is somewhat unlimited potential. So when you're working a 9 to 5, you do have a cap, which is a salary, which means that, again, if you're making $80,000 a year, you're going to make $80,000 a year no matter how much you work, unless you get paid overtime. With real estate, you can go close deals, and I know agents making $1 or $2 million a year. You have the ability to make almost as much as you want. And the reason why I say that there's a caveat with this is one of the reasons why I joined eXp Realty, is because I realized that you actually are somewhat capped at every other brokerage, because you can only operate in one geographical location unless you decide to go get your license in other areas. Whereas with eXp, I'm able to now build my team globally, partner with any agent in any market that the company's active in, and that allows true unlimited potential because it's now a global opportunity. You're no longer thinking about just a local opportunity. Number 3, you get to meet a ton of really cool people, because usually if you're doing real estate the right way, you're going to be out networking, you're going to be interacting with other people on social media, you're going to be meeting other people left, right, and center, and you really do get to meet a lot of really cool people, not just your buyers and your sellers that you get to work with, but other local entrepreneurs, other local business owners. If you are putting content out on social media like I do, you get to meet a ton of cool people from all over the world. A lot of my best friends and business partners I've never even met in person, just because of the fact that we now live in a digital society where you can connect and meet with people from anywhere. And that's really cool about real estate, is that you do have so many conversations and you do reach out to so many different people that you're going to meet some of the most amazing people that you never would have imagined. Number 4 is a big one. You grow as a person. And what I mean by that is that the forced discomfort, if again you're doing real estate properly, allows you to grow and develop skills that you needed to but otherwise wouldn't have. And what I mean by that is that my communication skills were not great when I first got started in real estate, but because I was door knocking, I was forced to develop very quickly better communication skills in order to think on my feet, in order to handle objections, in order to get outside of my comfort zone. I was never comfortable on video, or for that matter, social media at all. But again, understanding that in order to scale your business in the modern day, you need to do these things, So I started getting on video and now I absolutely love it. It's changed my business forever. It's made me a ton of new opportunities as well as money. And again, so many different things that I've done in real estate have allowed me to develop as a person, as an entrepreneur, and not just impact my business life, but impact every other aspect of my life, which has been absolutely incredible. Number 5, you get to learn marketing, branding, and sales. And why this is so important and why this is a pro of real estate is that you can take these skills anywhere. That's one of the reasons why I got into real estate. I didn't want to be a traditional realtor for the next 10, 20, 30 years. I wanted to get in to learn marketing, branding, and sales, because here's the thing. If you understand how to use those 3 things, no matter which business you decide to go in, you have the opportunity to succeed, and you likely will succeed. So if you get into real estate and then you decide to do coaching, those will allow you to do it. If you decide to launch your own startup, those will allow you to do it. So if you realize that, okay, maybe my passion is no longer in real estate, but you've developed these skills through real estate, you've now got the ability to go start almost any business and have the core fundamental foundation in order to do very well right out of the gate. And number 6, again, is the creative freedom. I absolutely love being able to try new things, put myself out there in different ways, try things that most aren't willing to, and try things that I'm usually not willing to. And I really like that this industry allows you to just try it all, do it all, and express yourself creatively. And a lot of people that get into real estate are creatives. They don't like being told what to do. They're not as technical. Even though I am a past engineer and I understand the technical side, I really like being creative and taking my ideas, implementing them, and bringing them to life. So those are the pros and cons I've seen of being a real estate agent. I'd love to know what you've seen with your experience as being a realtor if you are currently a licensed agent. I really like knowing how your journey has transpired and what you've seen as a pro and con of being in the industry. So thank you so much for tuning in. As always, please make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and we will see you next time.